Right now, there is one type of flooring in American homes that receives almost all of the warranty complaints in the entire industry. There is a floor finish that has literally sent people to the hospital with broken bones inside their own homes, and there's a flooring trend from just a few years ago that has become so universally hated. Buyers are walking away from beautiful homes just because of what's on the ground. Today, we're counting down the 10 flooring mistakes people regret the most in 2026, from slightly annoying all the way up to potentially dangerous and devastatingly expensive. Plus, at the end, I'll reveal the 4 smartest flooring choices you can make right now, backed by people who've lived with their floors for 20 and even 30 years and still love them. Your home is your home. I'm not here to tell you what to like. I'm here to make sure you know what the flooring industry won't tell you before you spend thousands. Most people do not realize their floor is a problem until it cracks, smells, swells, or costs them a sale. By then, it is not a design mistake anymore. It is an expensive one. If you do not want to learn this the hard way, subscribe, hit like, and hype. This channel exists to warn you before the regret sets in. Let's count it down. Ignoring transitions and stairs. Most people obsess over the floor itself and completely forget about how it connects to the rest of the house. Cheap transition strips between rooms create ugly speed bumps that can become trip hazards, especially for elderly family members. And if you don't plan your stair treads before choosing your flooring, you end up with mismatched edges that scream budget job, no matter how expensive the floor was. Think about this. Before you buy, not after the boxes are in your garage. Skipping underlayment. If you are installing tile or stone over a concrete slab, your foundation will develop micro cracks over time. Without a proper decoupling membrane underneath, those cracks telegraph straight through your expensive new floor. You wake up one morning and there is a crack running across your beautiful marble that has nothing to do with the tile itself. Products like Schluter Ditra create a buffer between your foundation and your tile, a small investment that protects floors costing thousands. Skipping it to save a few $100s is one of the most common regrets among homeowners who went premium on tile but cut corners underneath. Ultra white and washed out light floors. Every house flipper in America seems to install these bleached, almost colorless floors right now. They look clean in staging photos, and that's about the last time they'll ever look clean. In real life, they show every single hair, every crumb, every footprint. People who've installed bright white tile in bathrooms and kitchens describe feeling like prisoners to their mop. The floors look dirty 5 minutes after cleaning, even with just 2 people and no pets. White marble in the kitchen? Every cat hair, every breadcrumb, there's no amount of cleaning that makes it look spotless. And here's the thing, ultralight floors already went through this exact cycle. In the early 1990s, blonde wood was everywhere. Then it looked dated. Then everyone switched to dark espresso. Now we're back to light again. Based on that pattern, the very lightest tones will likely feel dated again within a decade. A medium tone, not too light, not too dark, has consistently proven to be the safest long-term choice. People who chose medium oak 15 to 20 years ago say it still looks perfectly current today. Peel and stick vinyl. It's cheap. It looks cute on social media, and it falls apart fast. The adhesive degrades with temperature changes and moisture. In bathrooms, edges peel up within months, gaps form between tiles, and moisture gets trapped underneath, potentially breeding mold you can't even see growing beneath your feet. But here's the part nobody warns you about: removal. When peel and stick fails, and based on overwhelming real-world experience, it eventually will. You're not just replacing a floor. You're spending hours scraping sticky residue off your subfloor with acetone, heat guns, and razor blades before you can even begin installing something new. That cheap option just doubled or tripled in total cost. Professional installers consistently describe peel and stick as having virtually no real durability. If you're on a tight budget, click-together floating planks cost more upfront but actually hold up and come off clean when it's time to replace. Tiny bathroom tiles with the wrong grout. Penny tiles and mosaics can look stunning in a bathroom. The problem isn't the tile, it's what's between the tiles. Hundreds of grout lines in a wet, dirty environment become permanent traps for mildew, soap scum, and stains. Once standard cement-based grout turns dark, getting it back to its original color is nearly impossible no matter how many cleaning products you throw at it. You'll scrub for hours and it barely budges. But there is a solution most people don't know about: epoxy grout. Unlike cement grout, it's non-porous, waterproof, and resists mold dramatically better. People who installed penny tiles with epoxy grout a decade ago say they still look like the day they went in. Zero discoloration, zero mildew. Another smart move: choose a darker grout color. Dark grout with light tiles creates a striking contrast and hides any potential discoloration over time. So the real advice isn't avoid small tiles. It's use epoxy grout and think strategically about color. And if you want minimum maintenance altogether, tiles at least 12 by 12 inches with a satin finish will always be the easiest to keep clean. High gloss tile floors. This isn't just an aesthetics issue, it's a safety issue. Healthcare professionals immediately flag high gloss floors as a fall risk. People have slipped and fallen hard enough on their own kitchen floors to need medical attention and have the entire floor ripped out. Elderly family members are particularly vulnerable. One homeowner watched his mother's gate literally wear a visible path into polished marble in just a few years. And when those floors get wet, it's like walking on an ice rink in socks. Beyond safety, every scratch, every dust particle, every fingerprint shows on a mirror-finished surface. You'll feel like you're cleaning constantly and it never quite looks perfect. Now, some people genuinely love high gloss, and that's absolutely their choice. But here's an important nuance. Full matte isn't necessarily the answer either. Heavily textured matte surfaces can actually grip dirt and make mopping harder than you'd expect. The real sweet spot that most homeowners end up happiest with long term is a satin or honed finish. Easier to clean than matte. Far safer than gloss. And it ages gracefully without showing every imperfection. Following flooring trends blindly. This might be the most expensive mistake on this entire list, and the one the flooring industry benefits from most. Think about the cycle. 15 years ago, dark espresso floors were everywhere. Then everyone ripped those out for gray. Now everyone's ripping out gray for warm oak. If you've chased each wave, you've easily spent the equivalent of a new car just on flooring for one house. And the flooring companies love it. Every trend cycle puts more money in their pocket and more waste in the landfill. The people who are happiest with their floors 10, 20, 30 years later are the ones who chose based on what they loved, not what was trending. People with cherry hardwood from the 1920X still get compliments every time someone walks through the door. People with travertine from the late 90s just bought more for new renovations because they love it that much. A hardwood specialist routinely refinishes floors that are over 100 years old, floors that were never on trend. They were just good. And here's the twist. Reports from major design industry events suggest warmer tones like chestnut, walnut, and mahogany are actually trending UP for 2026. So those dated warm woods everyone was told to rip out, they're coming right back. Today's trend is tomorrow's dated look, every single time. If there's one flooring choice that generates near universal regret, this is it. The backlash is massive and it's personal. People describe having a physical negative reaction to gray floors, a gut feeling that something is just off. Homeowners who installed gray LVP or laminate 5 years ago almost universally want it gone. Real estate agents report that gray flooring actively turns buyers off. One potential buyer walked away from a 2,200 square foot home specifically because cheap gray vinyl made the entire house feel cold and lifeless. The floors killed the deal. Real estate photographers say some gray homes are so drained of warmth they look black and white even in color photos. Industry data suggests warm wood tones now account for roughly 46% of flooring preferences, while gray has collapsed to around 10%. That's a staggering reversal from just 5 to 7 years ago when gray dominated every showroom and renovation show on television. If you installed gray in the last 5 years, you're not alone. Millions of homeowners did. And many are now facing the painful reality of paying for flooring twice. Warm rugs, natural wood furniture, and earthy wall colors can help soften it if you're stuck with it for now. But if you're choosing new floors today, this is the single biggest color to stay away from. Cheap LVP without doing your research. This is the one most experts won't touch honestly, some because they're sponsored by vinyl companies. Luxury vinyl plank is the most popular flooring in America right now. It can work for certain situations, but there are 3 things the marketing materials will never highlight. First, health. Cheaper LVP products can off-gas volatile organic compounds, chemicals released into the air your family breathes every single day. Some contain phthalates that have raised serious concerns among health researchers, especially in homes with toddlers crawling on the floor and pets lying on it for hours at a time. Think about that for a second. The surface your baby puts their hands on, then puts their hands in their mouth. If you're going to buy LVP, at minimum look for Floor Score or Green Guard Gold certification for lower emissions. Second, durability. Warranty technicians report that vinyl plank dominates their complaint lists regardless of brand or price point, and manufacturers almost always blame the installation to avoid covering claims. People who installed LVP as recently as 2 or 3 years ago are already seeing snap connections failing, surfaces that grip dirt so aggressively that feet feel dirty days after mopping, and mysterious pop-ups and gaps that appeared with no obvious cause. Third, sustainability. Vinyl is plastic. It doesn't decompose in any meaningful time frame. Every single LVP floor that gets ripped out, and millions are being ripped out right now as trends shift, sits in a landfill essentially forever. It's a product designed to be temporary, installed in a place that should be permanent. And let's be honest about the name. Putting luxury next to vinyl is marketing, not reality. If LVP fits your budget, get the highest quality possible. Aim for at least 20 mil wear layer. That's MMIL, not millimeters. 1 mil is 1/1000th of an inch. Go 30 mil if you can. The durability difference is significant. Overall thickness should be 6 to 8 millimeters minimum. But understand what you're buying. Based on what professionals and homeowners report, LVP appears to be a 5 to 10 year floor, not a 20-year floor. Budget accordingly. Not investing in real quality. From the start, the single most expensive flooring mistake isn't a specific color or material. It's choosing the cheapest option without understanding what you're actually getting. A floor that costs $3 per square foot but lasts 5 years is more expensive than a floor that costs $10 per square foot and lasts 50 years. People with Brazilian teak describe their 25-year-old floors as the most stunning feature of their entire home. People with oak hardwood from the late 1980s were able to match it with new stock decades later and seamlessly extend it into new rooms. Try doing that with any manufactured product. Hardwood specialists routinely refinish floors over 100 years old, and after 30 to 40 years of wear, you can resurface real wood for roughly a quarter of full replacement cost and get decades more life out of it. Real hardwood actually adds equity to your home. Manufactured products generally don't, at least not to the same degree. And unlike anything made in a factory, real wood develops character over time instead of just deteriorating. Every morning you step out of bed onto your floor. Every evening you come home to it. This isn't a throw pillow you can swap out. It's the foundation of how your entire home feels. The question isn't, can I afford quality flooring? The question is, can I afford to pay for flooring twice? Invest accordingly. So what should you choose? Here are the 4 options with the highest satisfaction among long-term homeowners. 1. Engineered hardwood. Real wood on top, stable core underneath, works over concrete and with radiant heat. Can be refinished when your taste evolves. European or American white oak in a satin finish with wider planks is the safest bet. Medium tones stay current the longest. 2. Large format porcelain or natural stone, unbeatable for kitchens and bathrooms. Today's porcelain mimics natural stone so well, most people can't tell the difference. Travertine is making a comeback in lighter neutral tones. Use epoxy grout and you'll barely think about maintenance. 3. Solid hardwood, the gold standard if budget allows. White oak, walnut, hickory, or cherry and mahogany if that's what you love. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. These woods have a track record measured in centuries, not trend cycles. Cost per year of use often beats any manufactured alternative. 4. Smart alternatives worth knowing about. Quality carpet in bedrooms for comfort, nothing else matches. AC5 rated laminate for durability without off-gassing concerns. Some have lasted over 2 decades and still look great. Polished concrete for modern builds. Cork for something uniquely comfortable and quiet. The bottom line, choose materials that last. Choose finishes that make your home feel like your home. And invest in quality over hype, because today's trend is always tomorrow's dated look. The flooring industry makes money every time you rip out and replace. Your wallet doesn't. If this video saved you from an expensive mistake, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. What flooring are you going with in 2026? Drop your story in the comments. Your real-world experience living on those floors for years is worth more than any trend report ever written. If after this video your floor feels different to you, then it worked. If this made you realize something you were about to ignore or normalize, share it with someone you care about and give it the hype. It helps more than you think. And if you want to avoid the flooring decisions most homeowners will regret in 2026, continue with the next video on screen.